She died the day before her eldest daughter's graduation, not even 24 hours, just one more day, and she would have seen it, the cap, the gown, the certificate with her daughter's name. But life isn't kind like that. I was there, I saw it all. Her name was Mama Ijoma, but everyone just called her Mama. She was the type of woman you noticed, even if you didn't want to. Her voice was loud, her laughter louder, and her presence filled a room like a storm rolling in. But behind that strength was a kind of sadness she never talked about. She had 3 daughters, Ijoma, Ada, and Ngozi. Beautiful girls, smart too. But life didn't give them much. They grew up in a one-room house with a leaking roof and walls stained by years of rain. Their mother did everything, sold vegetables, cleaned houses, even worked nights in places people whispered about, but never said out loud. I heard the stories, everyone did. Before she became Mama, she lived fast. They said she was the kind of woman men spent money on, the kind who wore bright dresses, gold earrings and red lipstick, drinking and dancing like tomorrow didn't matter. But tomorrow always comes. When she got pregnant with Ijoma, the men disappeared, the money dried up, and the woman with bright dresses became the woman with tired eyes, pushing a wheelbarrow full of yams in the hot sun. But she didn't complain. She worked hard. She'd come home with blistered hands, her back bent from carrying too much, but her girls always ate. She paid their school fees even when it meant skipping meals herself. "I want them to be more than me," she'd say, her voice sharp, like daring anyone to argue. Ijoma got a scholarship to university. Ada followed with top marks in secondary school. Ngozi was the little genius, always winning spelling bees. Mama was proud, but she never slowed down. She couldn't afford to. Then she got sick. At first, she hid it. She said it was just a cough, just a little fever, but it got worse. She'd collapse while sweeping. She'd lose her breath just walking across the room. By the time she went to the hospital, it was too late. The doctor said it was her liver. Years of drinking from her past life had left scars inside her, scars that never healed. I remember sitting beside her hospital bed. Her face was thin, her skin dull, but her eyes were still fierce. "Make sure they finish school," she whispered to me, "no matter what." I nodded, even though my throat felt too tight to speak. She died the next morning. The girls were broken. Ijoma wore her graduation gown with tears in her eyes. Ada held the certificate like it was made of glass, fragile and precious. Ngozi didn't speak for days, but they kept going, because that's what Mama would have wanted. Now, years later, Ijoma is a doctor. Ada is an engineer. Ngozi teaches at a big school in the city. They've made it. They're successful. But Mama never saw it. Sometimes, when I visit their old house, I still hear her voice in the wind, laughing, shouting at her girls to study harder, to be more. She gave them everything, even her life.